We are so excited to be back for another episode of Behind the Green and Gold. And once again, I want to begin by thanking each and every one of you for being so supportive. The views, the comments, the shares, and just seeing people out in the community talking about how much they enjoy hearing about these stories from these athletes. And we want to thank our sponsor, Leanne's Fine Jewelry, for making all these stories possible. And so we're back for another episode. And I'm so excited today to have Anna Winkfield with us. Anna, I'm glad you're here. I'm excited you're here.
I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you're having me.
Anna, don't call her Anna. Made the mistake before we ever get into this. Early on, I had to fill in for Daniel and do the PA announcing at softball, which I had never done before. And there's 27 things going on. And she's stepping into the box. I do play her walkout song, but I say, Anna Winkfield. And she's standing there with the bat and she just looks right up at me. And then looks right back down. So I have never made that mistake again. I always just think in my head, it's Adriana. So that's how I remember that.
Well, you know, your name is the first thing that you ever owned. So you should make people put some respect on it.
That's good. See, we're already hitting some bangers right here and we're just getting started. That's what we're talking about. Softball, Golden Suns, junior. And this season's going great. I'm excited. This episode will air after we have a big game tonight. So we're going to look back at this moment and say, this was probably the reason why we did so good. Wouldn't you think?
I would say.
You are left fielder for the Golden Suns, number 27. Any significance to that number?
No, actually, my roommate, me and my two roommates that I had my freshman year, we also lived together, Lexi and Addie. Our coach put us in a group chat and was like, these are the three numbers that I have in the small jersey, and I was the last one to answer. But it's our grad year. That's
right. Oh, that works out good. Because you were number 20 in high school.
Mm-hmm. And now Lexi's number 20. So
and that's cool, and y'all roommates now. So born and raised in Jonesboro your whole life? Were you there?
I moved to Jonesboro maybe when I was in 4th grade. I lived in a little tiny town. It's like Wilson, Arkansas.
Yeah.
There's not much there, not much going on.
But it's over in eastern Arkansas too, right? Where is Wilson?
I don't know.
Okay. This is not geography class, people. We're not talking about exactly where Wilson, Arkansas is. Somebody put that in the comments.
It's NEA too.
Yeah. So then if you move from Wilson, small little town, to Jonesboro, which is like the 3rd or 4th largest city in Arkansas, 82,000 people.
Yep.
Was that a little difficult for you?
Honestly, it was a crazy culture shock.
I bet.
It was really crazy. It took me a couple months to adjust, but I loved it immediately. My school was completely different than my last school. The learning environment was just better. I had made friends really easily, and it ended up being home, and I loved it.
Valley View High School is, even though the city is large, Valley View's not that big of a school. It's about 675, 10 through 12. So did you have like 200 in your graduating class?
I graduated with 177.
That's almost perfect, you know? So you got all the benefits of being in Jonesboro, the big city, and then also the benefits of being in a little bit smaller school, Valley View. The Blazers. Is that right?
Home of the Blazers.
Home of the Blazers, blue and gold.
Blue and gold.
Yeah, Valley View High School. I think there may be only one person that's hit 3 home runs and had 9 RBIs against Valley View High School boys in baseball, but we're not going to talk about that.
I didn't know this podcast was about you, Whitt.
Oh, sorry. It's not. I was just throwing out random facts. I don't know. So you did wear number 20 in high school. Was there any significance to that?
No, I just liked it.
That's good.
It called to me.
That makes a difference. Let's talk about your high school. So, state champion.
The first and only.
I did have a good conversation with Coach B.J. Zipfel.
Did you really?
I did. I sure did.
Oh, my goodness.
We talked for about 15 minutes, and he said some good things about you. But so, you played shortstop in high school.
I did. I was a middle infielder.
How did that transition take place?
Well, I signed to college as a middle infielder as well, and then I got here, and I just had a lot of anxiety at practice every day. I was really stressed out. The class that I came into, so the team that I came into, They were really old. Sorry. They were older ladies.
Yeah,
older ladies. They were a little older. We had a lot of COVID seniors.
Right.
So they were just old. It was really intimidating to me.
Sure, as it should be. Yeah.
I felt like a fish out of water because I'd kind of always been a big dog, and I came to college and I was like, okay, I am not the biggest and the baddest here at all.
And that's a theme that we've seen is you come from high school where everybody was you in high school. Mm-hmm. Everybody was the best player on their team in high school.
Yes, it's like I played on a team with 25 me's and they were better.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was just a slap in the face, honestly. And I had a lot of anxiety at practice every day. I messed up a lot. I couldn't keep it together. One day, Coach Jones pulled me aside and was like, maybe you'd feel better in the outfield for a couple weeks.
That's awesome.
And so I went out and played in the outfield, and I loved it. And I played it in the outfield several times, but I loved it. I felt so much calmer. I felt like I was able to be the athlete that I knew that I was. So then it stuck for me. I never wanted to come back. I will never go back.
And you're great at it. You're great in the outfield. And left field, to me, the highest percentage of balls hit are going to go to left field. So you have to have somebody super solid out there.
That's why I'm out there.
That's right. It was all a big plan. State champion 2022. Was that your junior year?
Yeah, I was a junior.
So how'd that go for you? How was that? That whole run?
It was so special. That team that I was on, I played with some of my best friends, Sophie, Caroline. It was just insane. The energy on that team was so contagious. And from the very beginning of the year to the end, I just knew that was the year for us. Just the chemistry on that team was so stupid. I just didn't feel like we could be beat by anybody.
That's one of the things that your coach said, too. This is taken from an article from the Jonesboro Sun. Mm-hmm. Talking about your pitcher, Riley was excellent.
Goated. Oh, my gosh.
But they said, in addition, Smith got tremendous help from her defense, especially in the final 2 innings. Nashville had 3 batters, and the Valley View defenders make full extensions to make a catch. And he talked about that catch, how you had to fully lay out. And in a tight game like that, I mean, that's huge. And that included shortstop Adriana. They had full government there.
Adriana.
Who made a leaping grab of a ball hit by Scrapperette's Emma Hutchinson. So,
gosh,
that's
that
good
was
memories,
such a good game. Yeah, it's really bringing everything back.
But they did say the score was 1-1, right?
For a long time.
But not for long, because Davis scored on a bloop single on the left side from Winkfield. So basically, you won the whole game.
Like, biggest RBI in my life.
I mean, I think they could have left out the word bloop there. But
yeah, I mean, I didn't.
There's a line drive in the scorebook, you know what I'm saying? But so I talked to Coach, and he said, she may not tell you this, but she was also a state champion in track.
I was.
What was your event there?
Track was actually, when I was in like 6th grade and everybody was like so sure what they wanted to do. I didn't really know. I started running track and I was like, I'm going to run track in college. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Then softball kind of took the reins, but I did a little bit of everything. I was mostly like a field event. I did a lot of field events. I did long jump, I did triple jump, high jump. Actually, I threw the shot put. Nice. I threw the shot put at state.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
Nice.
I ran the open 1, the 4x1, the open 2, and the 4x2.
Yeah, I don't know what any of that means. Coach did say, though, and which is odd because track and softball seasons run simultaneous.
Yeah, they
do. He said he would see you running to the track practice as soon as softball was over. You'd run straight there from softball. Mm-hmm. So,
well, I would kind of miss out on practicing with my track team because I would have to practice with the softball team. So my track coach would stay after and work with me and let me do things, which was like really generous of him because he didn't really have to do that.
Right.
But
oh no, he saw your talent. He wanted to have you out there.
So they gave me a lot of opportunities to make that work.
Coach, I feel like his nickname should be Coach Zip. I don't know if it is or not, but that would be he's missing a great opportunity. He said she was in my 7th grade PE class and she was killing folks with the dodgeball.
I was.
And I knew she was way too athletic. That's what he said. So, and then the last thing he did say was this, 2 things. And he said, I'm not kidding. That bruise is still on my shin.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
He said, I didn't know there was such thing as a forever bruise, but that bruise is still on my shin from like 2022. And also, you stole his visor. That's what he said.
I did stole his visor.
He seems like a great guy. I love him.
He is. Oh my gosh. I was texting him after this. I miss him.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get into the real stuff here. Let's talk about, you said you thought about doing track in college. What switched and how did you end up, and what was the recruiting process like to come to Arkansas Tech?
Well, I didn't start running track until I was in 7th grade, so it was I discovered something that I was good at, and it was fresh and new. So I was like,
oh, I got
my
you.
gosh,
You already
this
playing
is so
softball
exciting.
at this point?
Yes, I played softball my whole life since T-ball, like machine pitch all the way on. And so to get into recruiting, my stepdad, my mom and my stepdad, my dad, they've been married for 10 years yesterday. It was their anniversary. So he's been in my life forever, and he's a softball coach. That's how my parents met.
Gotcha.
My mom started dating my softball coach. And at first, I was kind of going through a crazy growth spurt. So I'm pretty tall, I'm 5'9".
Yeah.
But at the time, I was probably like a 5th or 6th grader that was like 5'6".
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah.
And I just didn't have any control of my body. I was so unathletic. And just my stepdad, he invested in me. And like from as soon as my parents started dating and then they got married, he just invested in me. And like as hard as I was willing to work, he was ready to back me all the time. And
awesome.
I was a really like lanky, goofy kid that really had no potential. Like if you were looking at me, you would have never been like, yeah, she's gonna take it all the way. No, except he did. Like he was the only one who did. And
sometimes that's all it takes is one person.
And he invested time and effort, and we put it together. And so when I got into about 8th grade, maybe 9th grade, we started talking about it. Like, is something that you want to do? Do you want to go play college ball? And I told him, yeah, I did. That was something that I was really passionate about. And at first, honestly, I was like, he would just really, this would be special to him if I went to this. And then I was like, it would be special to me if I did this.
Right.
And so we started talking to some like recruiting agents and seeing what routes would be the best route to take. And so we actually signed with like NSR, which is National Scouting Recruitment. Mm-hmm. And my first NSR scout, he passed away of COVID. And so then I had no NSR scout, but I was already committed to Tech. I had a handful of offers, some offers, but I committed to Tech, and I committed to the previous head coach of Arkansas Tech, Coach McSweeney. And then she left, and all the commits were kind of like...
And you've had some struggles and some bumps to get over through this.
All the commits were kind of like...
What now? Yeah.
We and all of us were like zero contact with her for like 2 weeks after the announcement. So like we were all panicking. Like we were texting each other. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know who they were going to hire. We had no idea. I was like reaching back out to all my other offers that I had already been like, sorry, I'm not coming here.
Right.
I'm going to Tech. And I was reaching back out to them. I'm sorry, give me a chance. But then I got a phone call one day. I was at work. I work as a server in a restaurant at home. I got a phone call from Coach Jones, and I had met her before when she was at CBC at a couple camps, and we had always gotten along great. And it was from Coach Jones, and she told me that she had gotten the head coach position at Tech, and that she would love to have me if I would still come. And I like just burst into tears because it was like such relief. And yeah, that's how I ended up here.
So you had come for a visit. What was is that your first time you came on campus? Is it your first time to come for a visit?
Yes. My first time on campus was, I think I was a junior. Maybe I was a sophomore. I don't know. But I was on an unofficial visit.
Yeah.
And it was with Coach McSweeney. So it was before Coach Jones took the job. But I came on another one when Coach Jones took the job. So I've been on 2.
So what was your first impression of the campus and the town?
Well, the town was a little smaller than where I'm from, which wasn't a problem to me. I wasn't really looking to go somewhere big and crazy. I didn't really have a big, crazy life at home, so I just wasn't really looking for that.
Right.
So that was wonderful. I thought it was super charming. Campus, it's so funny. The day that we came, it was COVID. We all had masks on. It's pouring rain.
Wow.
We're driving around this golf cart, pouring rain, in a COVID mask. Only one of the coaches could fit on the golf cart with us at the time because of COVID protocols. So one of them was falling behind in their car. So my first visit was like, is this how this is
bizarre.
rough.
That was such a bizarre time. And you stop and think about, we all lived through that. But when you're trying to decide what college you want to go to and your high school experience has been all messed up because you maybe couldn't go to prom or whatever, and then you get here and you got to go through that again. So it's so good that you went through all that and still ended up here.
But it gets kind of funny when I think about my first visit with the previous coach. It was like raining and nasty. And then my second visit with Coach Jones, it was like the sun is shining, the birds are chirping. And I was like, you know what? I'm home. I'm home here.
That's awesome. So what's been your biggest challenge as an athlete so far?
My biggest challenge as an athlete, honestly, was probably the first month being a collegiate athlete and that feeling of, wow, okay, I'm not
I mean, you
who I thought I was.
You touched on that earlier. That's got to be a somewhat of a rude awakening and a wake up call.
A slap in the face. That's how I explain it.
Like, just whoa, and at that moment, it's like a crossroads, and you can either buckle down and say, "I'm going to get through this," or a lot of people, and you see it all the time. They just go the other way, and we're like, I'm done. I quit. So
yeah, no, I had to really buck up. I had to straighten my back and stand up because it was really easy to feel so sorry for myself. And like, my mom's not here, my dad's not here, who's always like been my softball person, been like my rock, and I felt like really alone. I didn't know anybody here. Like, a lot of people come to college. A lot of people that I play ball with, they've like known each other, like played against each other or seen each other. I didn't know anybody here. And so it just felt like I was so out of place. Like, I was like an imposter. Like, and I was like, I know I'm good at this, but I'm not doing it. I'm not putting it together. That was really, really rough to overcome. Yeah,
that you really touched on something with that imposter thing, because that's the voices of doubt in your head that are telling you that. And you can either listen to those or you can say, you know what? No, I'm not. And you've proven, so that's a great job. What's been your favorite game or moment as a Golden Sun?
My favorite moment as a Golden Sun was probably last season. My first collegiate home run was against Northwestern at Northwestern, and it was a grand slam. And it was so big, and it felt so special and important. And I was playing with a team that like I had a lot of friends on. That senior class, we were really close, and so it just felt like everybody was so proud, and I was so surrounded by people who were so proud of me and loved me so much. It was just felt super special.
Now you have 8 home runs this year, tied for the lead on the team, second in RBIs. So good season,
not too bad,
and it's going to get better. I do want to give you a chance to talk about something that's I haven't even really chatted about anybody else with this. We were talking about the whole transfer portal thing, and I'm sure that there's probably been opportunities for you to think about doing that. But the other day I was chatting with you at the softball game, or the baseball game, and you really hit on something about family and how, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but what was it you said about these girls and how you couldn't even think about leaving them?
Yeah, honestly, when I had a couple weeks where I was really, really hot, and a lot of people were like making transfer portal jokes and like D1 jokes, and it's every kid's dream every college athlete's dream to go play D1. Everybody has had that dream. Everybody wants to do that. But I've been here for 2.5 years. This is my 3rd year, about to finish up my 3rd year, and this is my home, and this is my family, and I think that nobody could come knocking. No offer, no other place could like take me away from like what we've cultivated here, because this is home. And so I just think when I think about leaving here, it just like makes me sick. Like, you're not going to go and rebuild what you've already built here with these people who've loved you since day one. So I just kind of think about the softball team, and when I think about like athletics and the athletic people, staff, like the staff people, you, Daniel, Miss Cecily, Miss Amy, all the people that are like involved, like it's like their family and their community. And so I don't know, it's just, this is where I'm supposed to be.
I totally agree. And you have established lifelong bonds and friendships. Like I was telling you, these girls will be all the bridesmaids in your wedding. Your kids will call them aunt, and you'll take vacations together. And then you'll all come back for homecoming together. And no shade to anybody that decides to transfer. That's fine. But this is something that's going to be with you the rest of your life. And so we're so glad you're here. And if anybody ever does from D1 start come calling, we're just going to put play on this podcast and remind
That's perfect. Yeah, no, I'm home. I'm home here.
So outside of the sport of softball, do you have any hobbies or things you like to do?
I like to read. I feel like our life is pretty fast paced. You're always moving. You're always doing this, that, and this, and that, and this, and that. On the road, get on the bus, go pack your bag, get back on the bus, come home, play another game at home. So it's just, I really enjoy some like chill downtime. I also really like when me and all my roommates like go to the little Lake Dardanelle, where the little sand beachy areas. Yeah. Me and one of my roommates just got paddleboard, so we've been really into that. Nice. So yeah, reading, paddleboarding. I really like to wind down. I don't want to do anything strenuous. I like my off time.
You got a show you're binge watching right now?
I actually just restarted. No. Me and my boyfriend, Dick, we just restarted watching Planet of the Apes. Have you ever seen it?
Yes.
So we just finished War of Planet of the Apes.
So you're going to watch all of them?
So, yeah, we just watched the first 3. And, like, it's been so, like, we've been quoting, like, Planet of the Apes for, like, a week.
Awesome.
We have one more, and it's just been really good.
So, funniest teammate moment?
There's been a lot, honestly. I have some really funny girls on my team this year. But when I think about, like, so some funny, like, game time moments, my freshman year, we were playing Oklahoma Baptist at home, and they had, like, a ridiculous pitcher. She was, like, one pitcher of the year. She was really good. Her name was Kaylee Jones, I think. She was just really good. And I didn't play. I was a runner. I was a bench warmer. I was a pinch runner. That was my track dream come to life.
You had to have a part.
And so a transfer junior on the team that year, her name was Lily Mahan. She was, like, always a clown. She was so fun, and she was so funny. But it's pouring rain during that game. It poured rain the entire time. We're soaking wet. There's, like, rushing water everywhere. It's horrible. And so she's up to bat when they finally are like, okay, lightning, we're done. We have to stop it. And her count was full. So she's up to bat, and they stopped the game. So the next day we had to come back and finish. It's the very bottom of the 7th. We have 2 outs. She's up to bat with a full count.
Oh, wow.
So there's 1 pitch left in the game.
No matter what, yeah.
No matter what. And so we all had to go home and come back the next day after we sat in rain delays after they called that. We sat there all day, and she's just sitting on this 1 pitch. Like, we're all sitting there, and she's just like, has 1 pitch. The next day we come out, we're ready. It's a new game. We have to finish that game and play the next game.
Right.
And so she goes and she swings and she strikes out. It's not that.
Great.
It was more so like the waiting for 20 hours on
Yeah.
this 1 pitch.
1 pitch.
With, like,
and you swing and miss?
and I think there was, like, a runner in scoring position, and, like, it was.
Oh, gosh.
It was just so funny.
That's probably my worst nightmare now that you mention that.
It was so funny, and it, like, really sucked for her, but she kind of made the best of it, and she was really funny. And also in that same game, another senior on the team that year, Lily was a junior, but a senior on the team, her name was Abby. She gave Kaylee Jones, like, I think her, like, 500th career strikeout or something, and they, like, stopped the game and like brought out balloons.
Oh my gosh.
It was crazy. That game, that whole series was nuts.
She's in the record book there as being the one that got the 500th.
That's
crazy. Great. All right, favorite class?
My favorite class this year, this is going to sound so stupid, but honestly, I'm in a business and professional speaking class, and
you do well at that.
I had taken it my freshman year and ended up dropping it because I just couldn't figure out how to work the online system. It was online. So I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with this. But now this year, out of all my classes, I'm in a health science degree, so exercise science kinesiology degree, and we learn about some pretty weird, hard things to comprehend. So like sometimes those classes are just overwhelming to me.
Right.
And so to be able to sit there and just like talk and chat and like yap about something that I just get to make up, that's so easy and that's so fun.
I can't believe that you're good at yapping. That's shocking. So, pregame song.
It kind of changes. It goes back and forth. It's like this, today's a new day.
Yeah. I like
There is no sunshine. But
I like that one.
It's super chill, and it just like feels like so reassuring.
Get you in that spot where you need to be.
Today's a new day. You know, I actually have a hype video that I made of myself that I watch on game days. I'm serious. Before the game,
I like it.
Watching my hype video. It's for like mental prep, like all your highlights.
That's probably pretty smart.
I'll show it to you when we finish.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. Dream NIL deal.
With Brooks, easily with Brooks.
Oh yeah.
Wear them every day. They're the best shoe. It would have to be with an athletic sneaker, maybe Hoka.
Yeah.
Like a running shoe. I wear them every day. I run all summer.
That's funny because also my 75-year-old mother wears Brooks and Hokas.
Oh,
too,
okay.
And sometimes she actually accidentally turns on her flashlight on her phone, which Anna did that before we started. Funniest teammate?
Aubrey Jones. Aubrey Jones is the funniest person I've ever met in my life.
I can see that.
Ainsley Moore gives her a run for her money, though, because Ainsley's really funny, but something about Aubrey just really does it for me. I think she's hilarious.
One word to describe your team.
Locked. I think we're locked. I think this is a locked-in team. I don't know.
You won 23 out of 24 or 24 out of 25 games. You had won 19 in a row.
19 straight.
And didn't lose in the month of March.
We're perfect in March.
So I was like, surely, come on. They got to, I mean, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world for them to lose one.
We all thought that,
and
too.
you did lose that one, and then the next day, bam, 2 in a row. So, I mean, this is exactly where you want to be. So, all right, Anna. We end each podcast with what we call the final 10, and you have done absolutely amazing. So we want to thank Leanne's Fine Jewelry for sponsoring this, helping us get these stories out there. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What is one word that best describes you as an athlete?
Driven.
What motivates you to work hard when no one is watching?
All the hours that I put in with my stepdad, my dad, while we were going through this, and all the time he set aside and all those, I just like think back on that and reflect back on that. Like, you know, somebody was really there putting it all in for me, and that's all I ever wanted was to be here and do this. So
that's awesome. He's going to watch this and be very proud of you. What part of your sport do you love the most?
I have a couple things. Cheering in the dugout, riding on the bus when everybody's in a good mood if we win. The music and dancing before we go out on the field at home games, I think is so fun, and like this team is so special to me.
And I said this in a video that I made. It's so loose. The team is loose. They're not bothered. And once again, you follow the same pattern when we ask, you know, what part of the sport do you love the most? It all goes back to the friendships, and it's not even the athletic part of it. So that's really cool.
I mean, hitting a home run is like
That's
nothing
good. I
else,
mean,
but it's the people around you.
I know.
People standing at home plate when you run in. That's what makes it worth it.
What's the hardest part of being an athlete that people don't see?
Balancing life, play, and work.
Yeah.
Like all those things that you have to balance on your plate. It's really hard to be super intentional with what you're doing at softball if you're focused on school, or if you're
Right.
It's hard to be focused on school if you're worried about what you're doing at softball. It's hard to cultivate good relationships if you can't keep things separated. I think balance is really hard.
It is hard. What sound or moment during a game makes you feel the most alive?
Okay, so when I hit a home run at home, Daniel will replay my walkout song,
Right.
and I think I have the best walk-up song on the team. I think it's
a good one.
the very best. So as soon as it goes, my walk-up song will start playing again, and it's like I'm rounding second base, and here comes my walk-up song again.
Yeah,
it just
awesome.
Feels so like,
That's awesome.
I don't know, it's the best thing ever.
What sound or moment do you least enjoy?
Being rung up, like if you strike out, if the umpire rings you out like big and loud, oh, like
Some of them that's their whole personalities.
like if he's really into it.
I think I know the answer to this one. Who has had the biggest impact on you as an athlete?
Oh, my stepdad.
What's his name?
His name is Scott.
Scott. Shout out Scott. We love you, Scott. What is a lesson sports has taught you that applies to life?
This is so corny, but like you're only as strong as like your weakest link.
That's right.
Like I think how you treat your teammates is really, really, really important, because it's hard to have a good, healthy team that likes each other and loves each other and wants to work for each other if you don't treat each other the same way. So like taking that out and to my outside of softball relationships and friendships, it's like a loyalty kind of thing about how you want this friendship to progress.
That's awesome. I think I know the answer to this too. If you weren't playing your current sport, what activity or sport would you want to try?
I would want to be running track.
That's what I thought. Probably you got some eligibility left. Maybe we can work that out.
Talk to Coach Sams after this.
That's
Get
right.
him on the phone.
I'll call him up, Gabe.
Maybe he'll let me do some field events.
That's right. So this is the final question,
Okay.
and it's probably my favorite. So years from now, when Anna Winkfield's done at Arkansas Tech, and her name is probably in the record books for several things, when people look back and think about you, what do you want them to remember?
I want them to remember that like I loved this game. I loved getting out here and playing. I loved competing, that I was a competitor, that I wanted to be the best. I wanted to win at everything that we were doing. Like that I didn't take reps off when we were doing important stuff, that I worked hard every day. But yeah, that I loved it here, and I loved my team. I loved my coach. I loved being here every day.
Well, I can tell you just from watching you play, that's already evident, and it's only going to get more that way. So great job.
Thank you for having me,
You
Whitt.
killed it.
This was perfect.
What's another great episode? I'm telling you. I'm so proud to be able to do these things, and it's all because of Leanne's Fine Jewelry. So check us out on all the streaming platforms. It's going to be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, do all those things. Thank you so much for being a part of this and making these things possible. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Whit.